let's talk about one of the best ways you can squeeze the juice out of every single prospect that is coming into your world, and by delivering them even more value, warm them up into your ecosystem, get them to know, like, and trust you faster, and on top of that, build a really strong potential customer base using this one very simple thing. So what we're going to be talking about in this one is upsells. And I've got a thing here. If you are listening to this and you're not watching it, you'll be able to grab this as a resource below somewhere. But what I'm going to be talking about is upsells, how you can leverage them, and why they're one of the most, I think, underappreciated things that a lot of people are missing out on inside of their marketing process. And I think anyone should be using an upsell, even if they're not particularly selling a product or something that someone can buy immediately, right? A lot of the time, people that more traditional sense are using an upsell, they're selling something at a lower tier price point, like a book or an ebook or something like that, and then they will upsell you to a more elaborate course or a program for even more money. And that's more of a traditional way of thinking about upsells, and implementing an upsell when you have a situation like that is one of the first things that you should be doing when you're launching that kind of a thing. A lot of people decide not to launch with an upsell and they just want to launch with nothing. And that's great if you just want to get something live. But when your things are actually live, you want to have an upsell as soon as possible. Because if we're talking about it in the sense of you selling a book or an ebook or a smaller course, and then you upsell them to a bigger course, that upsell is actually where you're going to make all of your profit. So it's absolutely crucial to make sure that you have that upsell in place as soon as possible. Just as a really quick example for this kind of course or ebook, or if you're selling an actual low ticket offer, how important this is. I have a partner I've been working with for a really long time now, and when we launched his funnel, it was and it still is very similar to this. It's a $47 product and a $147 upsell. Just to kind of give a background, just the naming of the actual products will reveal how much of an improvement this gave. There was essentially around 20% or so, sometimes even less, 15 to 20% of all buyers of the initial product would take the upsell. And that was pretty good. It was awesome. It definitely helped our funnel and it helped everything work. The problem was it wasn't consistent. Some days we'd get dozens of takes, other days it'd be crickets, and it was just very inconsistent. The name of the first product was productivity based. Productivity Playbook was the name of the product. And the upsell in this case was something called a Millionaire Matrix. And you maybe could see how that could make sense, but not really. It doesn't really align well, right? Just the name, even not knowing what's inside of the products and who the product is for, it doesn't align very well. We changed that, and this one change, we changed the entire product, and you'll be able to hear the difference just from the name. But because we changed the upsell, it allowed us to raise our take rate on that upsell from 15 to 20%. We're consistently getting 30 to 40% take rates or even higher on that upsell at $147, and it's consistent. It hasn't stopped performing. The name of the product now is Calendar Mastery. And you can just tell with a productivity offer and now calendar mastery, they just click. It just aligns so well. So making sure you have your upsell dialed in is extremely important. Definitely don't miss the boat on this one, because it boosted our profits. It made everything work. It made all the math work. Now, a lot of you may be thinking, well, I don't have a little course that I can sell. Maybe I'm a real estate agent. Maybe I am just a starting coach and I don't have any of this stuff to sell. Well, that's fine. I've made a list here of all of the different things that you can actually implement and that can actually be viewed as a quote unquote upsell, and that you can slot into the place of them. So you could even do something as simple as offering people a call. Let's say they opt in and they're interested in coming into an open house, or say they opted in to get your free lead magnet. If you don't have a product that you can sell them, that's fine. Why don't you offer them to get on the phone so you can build more know, like, and trust? I would think to yourself, how much is that call worth to you? If you could have a 30-minute call with 20% of all of the prospects that come into your world, how valuable is that call to you? Now, if it's not valuable, don't do the call. Do other things. But if it is valuable to you, you could start to put a price tag on that and say, hey, you know what? I'd be willing, out of my leads that I'm paying $10 for, I'd be willing to pay $100 to get someone on the phone with me, because I know if I talk to them, I'll be able to convert them into something different that'll build great know, like, and trust, and it'll be a great relationship. So you definitely want to think about that. The other couple of things is you can keep it very simple. I actually had a real estate agent that I was working with recently. He had an upsell where someone would opt in for an open house for a specific listing. No matter what listing it was on, he would actually give a guide on things that you should look for when you're house hunting. It was like a top 10 list of things that you should be looking for and aware of when you're house hunting and when you're working with a real estate agent. It not only built the know, like, and trust, but it framed that agent as an authority in that space. And yes, they didn't buy anything extra. It wasn't an upsell per se, but it was an extra value add. And that's what the upsell should be. It shouldn't be just about squeezing the juice and the life out of your prospects. It's about giving more value so you can ascend them through your customer journey. So whether that's a template, guide, notes, maybe it's an interview with past clients that you've had, maybe it's just offering more help or revealing a system that's worked best for you. Using an upsell is, I think, one of the most important things that any business owner can do, no matter what field you're in. So just whatever funnels, whatever processes or marketing flows you're running right now, make sure you implement an upsell. It can be as simple as like a template or a guide. You could sell them something extra, or you could even sell them a call. You always want to make sure to put the value behind the thing that you want them to get. And when they actually take that upsell, whether they're buying it or whether they are saying, yes, I want these notes or I want this guide from you, it is showing that extra level of commitment. And that is definitely a warmer and hotter lead versus someone that has just opted in once. So it also helps to give you a tremendous good gauge on, hey, is this person like really serious? Do they really want to learn this stuff? Because they're opting in basically twice. They're opted in once for your main thing, and then they're saying, yes, I want another one of your things. That's great. That's showing that these people are committed. That's showing that these people are interested in learning. That's showing that these people are on a higher quality of a lead that you're going to be coming in into contact with versus someone that's just opting in once. So highly recommend putting an upsell into place. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you guys in the next series.